Petty offenders will now be contributing to Kenya's tree cover. In what is deemed green justice, petty offenders will now be sentenced to planting trees as part of the Judiciary's tree planting program. But in playing devil's advocate, petty crimes should be decriminalized. Petty crimes, which includes begging, hawking, loitering with intent of prostitution, being drunk and disorderly, and breach of peace, such offences disproportionately affect the poor in society, only feed into the prison industrial complex. Despite petty crimes being punished by a fine or imprisonment of up to 6 months, the poor face hurdles in paying the fine and are also unable to raise money for the bail, and therefore end up clogging up the criminal justice system and contributing to prison overcrowding, as pretrial detainees
are estimated to make 51% of prison population.
Thus, the criminalization of petty offenders is discriminatory and further subjects them to being arbitrarily arrested and subjects them equally to inhumane treatment, as the police cells are mostly dilapidated. With minimal access to healthcare to those who need it, some detainees have even reported being subjected to torture. Further, the pretrial detainees' right to fair trial is prejudiced, as some lack access to legal representation due to unaffordability. Moreover, those who have mental illness spend an inordinate amount of time in detention, whilst the court determines whether they are fit to stand trial through mental assessments. It's also reported that some remandees spend an average of 12 to 4 years in prison, which flies in the face of presumption of innocence. Worse is that upon conviction and sentencing of a petty offender, the state retains their criminal records and can only be expunged after 20 years, unless the offense committed is a capital offense such as murder, robbery with violence, treason, or drug-related offenses. And even still, the government retains your fingerprints. Lastly, there is no legal framework for expunging criminal records prior to the 20 years. This creates a problem that mostly affects minors who have a criminal record and cannot access employment due to the criminal record being listed on the police clearance certificate. Do you think we should decriminalize petty offenses?